ASMR of eating a fucking hot pocket out of the oven.
We got that hot pocket ASMR. Are you got that?
Hello and welcome to the Mana Flood podcast, the only podcast where the boys decided a hand with 5 lands, an arcane signet, and a soul ring was a good enough hand to start. Get your floaties ready because the episode starts now.
Hey, welcome back to another episode of the Mana Flood podcast. A huge thank you to Nom Honey for that wonderful intro. We really appreciate all the work she's done for us. Just recording that intro and that outro. It's awesome. We love it so much. Yeah, we'll just go right into introductions, and we have another shout out that will come. It'll be there. I am From the Flood. You can find me on Twitter, which is also known as X. Bad name, terrible name, awful name. You can find me on Twitch sometimes, not nearly as much. I also have a YouTube channel, which is also not particularly updated that often anymore. But I mean, it's there. I don't even know what's on it. Old podcast, maybe. I don't know, but that's where you can find me if you need me or you want to contact me for anything. And the wonderful gentleman beside me.
Hello, I am once again Parmesan. You can find me at ParmaJawnTV at Instagram, X, and TikTok. Otherwise known as Beanbag, the human beanbag. To some people, to those people, I hate you.
You are very comfortable.
Yeah, they got a point, but fuck them, dude.
The best at cuddles.
The best.
Yep, you are the absolute best at cuddles. A huge thank you to our friend Ozzy.
Yes, massive thank you to our friend Ozzy. They made our Mana Flood logo, as a matter of fact. They did a very, very good job on it. They're very talented. If you want to see more of their artwork, you can head over to the Stars Have Eyes on Instagram. They showcase some of their art there, and you can also request commissions from them as well.
Absolutely. So today's episode, if you haven't read the title and you're just going on through our content, thank you. I appreciate that. That is awesome. We're going to talk about some of our most hated combos. And this one was actually kind of hard for me because I see combo, I go, that's stupid, and then I get up and leave. It's just all combos. Boom. Easy. Next, GG. But no, we do have a couple of combos. John has a lot more specific combos than I do. Mine are kind of more, other than, I think I have some specific ones, but for the most part, mine's generalizations and things that people don't like to see that me play. So I'm the problem in this episode, I guess. But I guess we'll jump right in. I don't think this episode is going to be actually particularly all that long. I think it's going to be short, to the point, and then moving right along. So, yeah. We'll start with John, because John has opinions.
I do have opinions. That's right. The guy that loves to play Armageddon has opinions. Crazy. One of my most hated combos, and this combo literally prevents you from playing the game. Like, you can't cast spells, which honestly I don't like. We play Magic. I like to cast spells. It's great. But this combo is Dranith Magistrate and Knowledge Pool. For those that don't know, Dranith Magistrate is a 1 and a white for a 1/3 that says your opponents can cast spells from anywhere other than their hands. And Knowledge Pool is a 6-drop artifact that reads, when Knowledge Pool enters the battlefield, each player exiles the top 3 cards of their library. And the second body of text states, whenever a player casts a spell from his or her hand, that player exiles it. If the player does, he or she, them, whatever, may cast another non-land card, exile with Knowledge Pool, without paying the card's mana cost. So, Dranith Magistrate, you can't cast stuff from other than your hand. Knowledge Pool, you can only cast stuff from that, like, exile pile that you have. It's not a fun time. It locks you out of the game. It really sucks.
You're done playing.
Yeah.
Your hand, useless. Can't do anything except play lands.
Yeah, you are cooked. Absolutely cooked.
Your game's over. But you know whose game isn't over? The player who got the combo off. Yep. That's and like that's a super annoying combo. Don't put that card in a deck that has no win con, because fuck you.
Please. Yeah, I hate to say it. Not really. But banking on your opponents to concede is not a win con.
No.
Not at all. And if it is by definition, great. It's a very bad win con, and you should not be doing it.
Because you will get people who will just sit there and try to outdraw you and see how the game goes that way.
Correct.
I will do. I'll fucking do it. I can't play the game anymore. I will fucking just sit there and draw 100 cards at you.
In case it wasn't like pretty obvious by now, Chase and myself run out of complete spite. Truthfully. So if you prevent us from playing the game at all, we're going to sit there and draw it out for as long as we can. We can't cast anything. How are you going to win?
Yeah. If it's draw, you better hope that you outdraw us. Or you better hope you have more cards in your deck than we do. Because if you don't, we will win that game.
Truly.
Because Drannith Magistrate Knowledge Pool is not in and of itself a win con. You have to have something that you will eventually draw into to win yourself the game.
Yep.
Because otherwise, I'm sorry, it's not a valid win con on its own.
Nope.
Nobody can play, but that doesn't mean you win the game. Because they can draw out. They might still have creatures they can smack you with. Like, the game isn't over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. In case it wasn't blatantly obvious, this combo is mostly found in like stacks decks. So like your Grand Arbiter, Augustin 4, your Lavinia Azorius Renegade, Sithis, Harvest Hand, decks like that that really just want to stall out the game for as long as they can to like combo off essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Yep,
and it's I'm going to be putting it in my Grand Arbiter deck. That doesn't make it a fun combo.
Yeah,
I'm going to be honest.
I'm not saying like it's not okay to use these. Like, you know, they were printed because people weren't thinking. But they were printed for a reason, you know, for people to be able to use them, and sure, within conjunction to each other. But yeah, please just make sure, like, if you do use this combo, please have some sort of a win con in your deck. It'll just make the game go smoother, and people, like, they'll resent you a little bit probably for using this combo, but I feel like they'll resent you significantly less if you have like a way to win the game.
Yeah, if you've got something that you can do that you go, okay, so I will eventually draw into Approach of the Second Sun and win through that. Even if it's the last card in your deck, you still win off of Approach of the Second Sun. Yeah. So you can say, I draw into this, and then I will accept that and be like, okay, fine, fuck you, and sure. But if you're like, I got nothing, we're just going to wait.
True.
Then we're going to wait. Sorry. I'm going to wait you out.
Yep.
Okay, so my first most hated combo is also my most loved combo. And that's because people hate it. And for very good reason. It's Bruvak the Grandiloquent and Maddening Cacophony. Bruvak makes you, if you mill a card, you mill double those cards. Super simple, super easy. Maddening Cacophony is 2 mana, and it's each opponent mills 8 cards. However, you can kick it, and if it's kicked, each opponent mills half their library rounded up. So if with Bruvak on the battlefield, that means each opponent mills their entire library. Next draw step, they lose the game. Nothing they can really do about it. It is very fun for me. I love it. I have many tutors in my Bruvak deck specifically to find it, so that I can win the game. However, I understand why people wouldn't think it's very fun, because it feels like it, even if you see me tutor for it, it feels like it came out of nowhere, and that can be a pain in the ass. That can be unfun, and I understand that. However, if you've heard or listened to previous episodes, you know I only play Bruvak when someone at the table is being kind of a prick. And so it's usually the person that's being kind of a prick that goes, that combo's stupid, man. Fuck you. So Yeah, it is. It is. It's a shitty combo. It sucks to have this played against you. I've had people play my deck against me and win with that combo, and I was like, man, that sucks. But at the same time, that's what it's designed for. It's fun to play. It's not fun to play against. And I feel like a lot of these combos have that general sentiment about them.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They're fun to play. They're not as fun to play against.
Yep.
And fair enough. And yeah, that's kind of all Bruvec does. It wins games immediately. If you can't counterspell it, the game's over. And because it's mono blue, obviously there's going to be a big counterspell battle. And it could be the Bruvec player versus everyone at the table. The Bruvec player will probably still win that. Unfortunately, but that's what the deck's designed to do.
It is.
They need to be able to protect their win con.
For sure.
So, yeah.
Yeah, for sure, man. My next combo, this is usually the kind of combo I don't really have a problem with. Just because when people do it, boom, game's done. They win. Great. This combo, however, is very oversaturated almost, if that makes sense. It's very popular, used in a lot of CDH decks. Thankfully, we don't really see it in a more casual EDH setting. But that combo is the combo of Demonic Consultation and Thassa's Oracle. For those of you who may not know, Demonic Consultation is a instant for a single black mana. Name a card. Remove the top 6 cards of your library from the game and reveal the next card to all players. If it is the card name, put it into your hand. If not, remove the card from the game and continue revealing the cards at the top of your library and removing it from the game until the card that has been named is revealed, essentially. And then Thassa's Oracle is a creature for blue. When Thassa's Oracle enters the battlefield, look at the top X cards of your library, where X is your devotion to blue. Put up to one of them on top of your library and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. If X is greater than or equal to the number of cards in your library, you win the game. So basically, how you play this combo, it's very simple. Make sure you have Thassa's Oracle in your hand and Demonic Consultation, of course. Play Demonic Consultation, name Thassa's Oracle. You're not going to find Thassa's Oracle because it's in your hand. Exile your entire deck. Once that happens, play Thassa's Oracle, and then you win. You just flat out win. It's very, maybe because it is so overused, but it's very lame. And like I said, normally I wouldn't mind these kind of things because they quite simply just end the game. You're like, ah, man, cool, next one. But this one is just played so much, and it's so strong. This is while in CDH, it's turn 1, turn 2, win. So,
which is, it's crazy that this actual combo avoided the ban, and when it's just as prevalent as the monkey, the pirate, it's a goblin. Holy
Dockside Extortionist.
It was just as it's well, now it's more prevalent because Dockside's banned, but they were the same amount of prevalency in CEDH because they're so common. You see them everywhere, and it gets boring. Leave your CEDH combos in CEDH. Right? Don't bring it to a casual table. Doesn't make you look cool. Doesn't make you look like you play CEDH. It's actually kind of the opposite. It's why are you playing CEDH combos at a casual table?
Yeah.
Any table that isn't CEDH. And be a little creative, especially at casual tables.
Yeah.
Taking one of the most known powerful combos and just going, oh, yes, dude.
Bing bang.
Ping bong, we did it. It's kind of boring.
Yeah.
It just... creativity, especially lower power levels. If you're good at the game, you can come up with some pretty cool combos. Okay, so my second combo that I don't like is more of a combo type. I have an example, but it's when any combo that instantly nukes a single player at the table. It doesn't win the game. It's just a, hey, you know what? Fuck you, dude, combo. If you're a spite player, you're going to get a reputation sticking these in your decks. And for example, Vraska, Betrayal Sting, and Vorinclex, Monstrous Raider. So Vraska, Betrayal's Sting is a planeswalker for 4, a black, and a Phyrexian mana. And it doesn't matter what its abilities do. It comes in with 6 loyalty counters, and it's -9 gives poison counters, up to the difference of 9. Sounds completely harmless, right? However, Vorinclex, if you have a Vorinclex on the field, Monstrous Raider, before Vraska Betrayal Sting, Vorinclex doubles all counters, which includes the Planeswalker loyalty counters. Meaning Vraska comes in with 12 counters and you can immediately and uncounterably, well, you can counter Vraska, but you can't counter, there's not a lot that counters the Planeswalker ability. You can immediately just nuke one player the turn you play Vraska, which is, it's a heavy combo, right? It's late in the game, total of 12 mana, 11 if you pay the Phyrexian, pay life instead of the Phyrexian, but it's just feels bad late in the game to nuke one person and then the game doesn't even end. Like, I get it as a game ender, but there are other combos that just work better and win you the game.
Yeah.
Right?
No, for sure, man. For sure.
It's one of those things where, especially if you get an early game, like fuck one person in particular, and the game keeps going for like an hour or whatever.
Yeah.
It feels bad.
It feels so bad.
Yeah.
Man. Just to be like that one person out and like, you're not even really the threat. They just choose you just because.
Because you think you're going to win, and then someone plays a counterspell or nukes your Vorinclex next turn, and you're like, oh, well, I'm fucked. Ha ha ha, my game's over now.
Literally.
And you just completely screwed someone out of being able to play. Like, I think combos should be kill everyone or kill no one.
Yeah.
Right? It should be like infinite mana or kill everyone. Right? You want to have a destination in mind at the end. You don't want to just take one person out for the sake of taking one person out. Because I think that's bad deck building, really.
That's fair.
Right?
Yeah, I would probably have to agree with it for sure, man.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's my second one. Any combo. It's not just this one, it's any combo that has that effect where it only kills one person instant or near instantly, and it's just like, okay, well, that person just can't play now. We're gonna wait. And I do not count that as like you pump up your commander for one turn and kill them with command damage. That happens, but I mean, if you're able to do that, you're probably playing, that's probably what your deck is supposed to do. So it's a little bit different than a combo that just nukes one person.
Yeah.
Right? Like, there's this one, there's a couple of Bruvac kill one person combos that I took out of the deck because they're not fun to play against. The game keeps going and someone just feels bad and is left with feel bads. And you don't want that. You're playing with your friends. It's a casual format. You don't want to be in here targeting one person and going, hey, go fuck yourself, man. Yeah. Unless your whole deck is just, hey, fuck one person in particular. Then that's kind of funny. But other than that, don't do it.
Yep. So moving on to my last one. With the exception of like Demonic Consultation and Thassa's Oracle, I really dislike combos that make you not how do I explain it? Make you not being able to play the game. That was probably bad English. We're gonna move past that. But like for instance, like the Drannith Magistrate Knowledge Pool combo, you literally cannot cast your spells. That's really not great. I also especially hate it when you do have a board, right? You have stuff on your board. We're having a good time. But then something comes out that makes your board quite literally useless. And with that being said, this next combo is the combo of Karn the Grey Creator and Mycosynth Lattice, otherwise known as Karnlock. Karn, in case it wasn't obvious already, is a Planeswalker. For 4 colorless mana, he comes in with 5 loyalty, and I'm only going to mention his static or passive ability because it's the only one that really matters for this combo. But activated abilities of artifacts your opponents control cannot be activated. So this is mana abilities, pretty much like everything essentially. And then Mycosynth Lattice is a artifact as well, or Mycosynth Lattice is an artifact. It's a 6 cost. All permanents are artifacts in addition to their other types. All cards that aren't in play, spells, and permanents are colorless. And the last body of text says, players may spend mana as though it were mana of any color. Pretty self-explanatory. Mycosynth enters, everything becomes an artifact. Karn the Great Creator says your opponents can't active. Oh my god, bro.
Activate the abilities of artifacts.
Thank you.
There
Can't
you
use
go.
activated abilities of artifacts they control is what I was trying to say. Therefore, making your entire board useless. Completely useless.
Can only attack with creatures, that's it.
And that's it's not a fun time.
Like, this combo stops you from tapping lands for mana. Like, it is mean.
Yeah, like it's very messed up in my opinion, especially like when you have spent all game developing your board state, right? And then somebody spends a total of like, well, who knows? Mycosynth might already be out. They play Karn, and then you're like, oh, well,
Guess my game's over.
gee willikers. Like it's a terrible time. Nobody has fun. I can't even see the person playing this combo having fun. Truthfully, they're just like,
Stacks, baby.
I guess
And,
I
like,
win now. Which again, have a win con if you're going to pull this combo.
Yeah,
Please.
because once again, it's going in my Grand Arbiter's deck. Very toxic combo. That deck is going to suck. It is not going to be fun when it's done.
No.
But I'm going to have win cons in there. Win con. There'll be a couple, but there's going to be at least one. Approach of the Second Sun. So just, even if it's just the one, throw it in there and then make your deck around drawing until you get it and nobody else can do anything.
And most tables are like pretty fine. Even like I find some people even ask you, they're like, okay, cool, you have the lock.
Mhm.
Do you have a way to win? If so, tell us what the way to win is. They'd be like, oh yeah, in my deck I have Approach of the Second Sun and a Mystical Tutor. I'll play Approach eventually. I'll play Mystical Tutor, get the Approach, replay Approach, win the game.
Mhm.
They'll be like, yeah, cool, man. GG, next. You know?
Or you just go, I've got Approach. I'll draw into it. I'll play it. I'll draw into it again.
That's you. Yeah.
Take me like, could take the rest of the game. Could take me like 99 cards,
Yep.
but I'll get there eventually. And everyone's like, bet. All right, you
Yep.
win. GG next. Right. Like, people aren't, if you have a win con, these combos immediately become so much less rage inducing, so
Mhm.
much less salt. But if you're relying entirely on these combos to win you the game, I'm not scooping.
No.
I'm not. I will look you dead in the eyes and waste everyone's day.
Same, man. Same.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I'm very petty. Especially because, like, if you don't have win cons in your deck, that means you built the deck specifically to waste people's time.
Yep.
But you don't like it when your time's wasted, so I will waste your time.
Mhm. And I kind of get it to an extent, because like you aren't there for, well, unless you're in like a private kind of play group kind of thing. But just say you're at like an LGS at like a Commander night or what have you, right?
Mhm.
You aren't there for other people, if that makes sense. Like you shouldn't care about their time, and that's just the reality of it. You're there for you to have fun and for you to win. But also at the same time, like it's torturous almost for people to like have to go through like a Karn lock or another kind of lock, and for them just to kind of like sit there twiddling their thumbs for like an hour.
Mhm.
So just, I don't know, be considerate, I guess, to other people.
Be courteous in that.
Yeah.
Just throw in a win con.
That's it.
If you're playing a deck that stops people from playing the game, guaranteed you can get Approach of the Second Sun in there.
Approach of the Second Sun isn't even an expensive card. I think at most it's like $1. If you want like Windfall or a Mystical Tutor, I guess it's kind of up there a little bit. But like Windfall is pretty cheap, I'm pretty sure. So
It's real easy to just
Yep.
get these cards, right?
Yep.
Like, if you can afford to build a deck that just shuts people down, you can afford to throw in a win con.
Yeah.
And that's where a lot of the salt for me comes from. It's just
Yeah, that's fair enough.
people expecting combos that lock the game down to end the game when they don't in terms of the rules. Like, no, I will sit there and I will draw you out and I will win just based on having more or less cards in my deck. I will lose happily, win happily that way. But I will make you draw every card. We're not counting. We're going to draw pass until the game's over.
Yeah.
Like, don't lock us until you unless you know what you're doing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then my final combo, the last one I want to talk about, it's kind of any 2-card combo, but especially like the uncreative ones that you see all the time, like Heliod Sun-Crowned, Walking Ballista, Heliod Ballista. We've seen that combination in everything. It's such a heavily used combination to, okay, Heliod, Sun Crown, indestructible. As long as your devotion to white is less than 5, Heliod's not a creature. He is a god. That makes sense. Whenever you gain life, put a 1/1 counter on target creature or enchantment you control. And then for 1 and a white, another target creature gains lifelink until end of turn. And Heliod himself is 2 and a white. So, super cheap card. Get out there. Anytime you gain life, creature gets a 1/1 counter. However, Walking Ballista is where this combo goes infinite with itself. It's silly. So essentially, what you do, you use Heliod to give Walking Ballista lifelink. Walking Ballista is an XX artifact creature construct. When it enters the battlefield, it enters the battlefield with X 1/1 counters on it. So depending on how much mana you put into X and X. It'll be the smaller number if you put in different mana values for whatever reason. For 4, you can put a 1/1 counter on Walking Ballista. That doesn't matter. For this combo, we don't care. But if you remove a 1/1 counter from Walking Ballista, it deals 1 damage to target creature or player. Which means you take off a counter, it deals 1 damage, you gain a counter because of the lifelink. Infinite. 2 cards.
Yep.
Super easy, super ridiculous. It is what it is. You see it everywhere, though. You need to make sure you understand how this combo works. Because you can't just go Heliod, Walking Ballista, and then if someone challenges you and goes, how's that work? And you can't explain it, as far as I'm concerned, it's not a combo.
Yep, for sure, man.
All right, that's the same with any combo you're playing. If you just saw it on the internet and went, ha ha ha, that's a cool combo, but you don't understand how it works or why it works, don't play the combo. Because you're going to have to explain the combo, or I'm not going to admit that it's a combo if you can't tell me why. Just know your combos. But yeah, any 2-card combo, it's kind of cheesing the game. And yeah, like I have tons of 2-card combos in all of my decks. But that doesn't mean it's not one of my most hated combos. Right? Like, it exists, it sucks, but it is what it is, you know?
Yeah, man. For sure, for sure. I'm personally really bad for this combo. Heliod Ballista, for those that don't know, is like my favorite combo to use.
It sure is.
I'm a big enchantments player. I love my enchantments. And it just so happens that Heliod is an enchantment, so you can search for it with Idyllic and Enlightened Tutor, and then Walking Ballista, you can also search for it with Enlightened Tutor. It's pretty sick. It's pretty cool. Yeah, kind of going back to what Chase says. Understand
Big
how
surprise, the Armageddon player.
Oh my god.
He loves pulling out the Heliod Ballista. Wow, that's a shocker. My favorite is I always bust your balls for this, but I wasn't part of that game.
Yeah, that's the worst part. Chase has never experienced my Armageddon shenanigans ever. All right, because I'm a good friend. That's why. Okay, I don't want him to have to deal with that. But still, every time he bullies me, bro, he bullies me
relentlessly.
And I'm like, I get it. It's a scumbag move. I like it. Okay,
let's move on. Okay.
Truly. Also, like, I always win with it. Except for that one time. That was one time only.
My bad. Didn't expect a 3 counter spell or whatever. Is that what it was?
Pretty much.
I knew it. 3 counter spells.
We love them, except if they're used on me, then...
Free counter spells and spite are the funniest combo in Magic. Changed my mind.
Ban the free spell cycle.
Yeah. But yeah, that is actually all the content we had for this episode. It wasn't particularly long. I don't think. I can't actually see the time from here because I'm mostly blind. But that's all the content we have. I feel like it was a shorter episode, but last time I said that, it was like an hour-long episode, and I was like, oh,
that's okay. Yeah, that's fair, man. That's fair. But yeah,
so.
Shorter episodes sometimes, they're nice. I like giving my opinions on this kind of stuff. I like Magic. I could talk about it for
hours. And actually, we have so far.
Yes, quite literally. Yeah.
We literally have hours of content. Crazy. Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been a lot of fun. We are actually off to try to record our first gameplay now, which will actually come out before this episode.
Psych.
Yeah. That's assuming scheduling goes the way we want it to. But if it doesn't,
true.
Blame someone who's not us.
Yeah. Or blame... Who's the one person people blame?
God?
That seems bad.
Yeah, I guess.
Let's blame who's somebody most people don't let... Nope, never mind.
George W. Bush.
Yeah. No offense, George W. Bush, if you're watching this video for whatever reason. Don't know why you would be watching this video, but yeah.
But also, if you are, please sponsor us.
I don't want that sponsor. I'm not gonna lie. I'm good.
I mean, fair. We're not that desperate for sponsors.
No.
But also, thank you if you are watching.
Yes, thank you.
We shout out random people all the time.
Yes.
So...
All the time. All the time.
all the time. But yeah, thank you as always so much for watching. It means the world to us that you're still here somehow watching our content and supporting us. I've got my Broly shirt because Dragon Ball Sparking Zero is such a good game.
I have the shirt I wore last episode because I forgot to put on my jacket. Oopsies.
Yeah, and we recorded them back to back because we needed to get ahead again because school has been stressful and a lot. So that's why. But yeah, thank you so much. I am From the Flood. You can find me on Twitter. You can find me on X, which is technically the same thing. You can find me on Twitch sometimes. I lost my pillow. Or I think the same thing happened last episode.
Sure did.
Or you can find, I have a YouTube, but I don't upload anything to it. I might start doing Warframe stuff again. Who knows? I can't guarantee anything, but yeah. The wonderful gentleman beside me.
Once again, I am Parmesan. You can find me on Instagram, X, and TikTok at ParmaJawnTV, where you can find me thinking how funny it is that Thassa's Oracle didn't catch a ban, and just shit posting, man. I love to shit post. Don't take it too seriously, please.
Shit posting is the best posting.
Yeah, it's pretty good, man.
All right. Well, as always, huge thank you to Nom Honey for this wonderful outro that you're going to hear right now.
Thank you for listening to the Mana Flood podcast. Any references to companies or other content creators in this episode are done strictly out of love for the brand, as we are not sponsored. If you would like to contact us, our email is floodedmanapool@gmail.com or find us on X at floodedmanapool. You can also contact the host directly at FromtheFlood or at ParmaJawn. Have a good day. Bye.